guys, and good morning. If you clicked on this video, it means that you are hungry
like me.
And today I thought I would share some easy Thai recipes for you guys that you guys can make at home. It's always fun to share recipes from all over the world, and today I wanted to share some recipes from my home country, my first love, Thailand, for you guys that you guys can make at home. I asked you guys yesterday.
I think it was yesterday.
I asked you guys yesterday on my Instagram what you guys wanted to see from me this week, and so many of you guys wanted to see what I eat in a day. I honestly cannot talk properly right now because I'm so hungry and I'm so delirious. So let's start with our menu. I'm so excited. I wanted to share some recipes that I've learned while being in Thailand that
we might not all know about for breakfast.
Today for breakfast we're gonna make some Kai-Krata, which literally translates to egg and pan. It's such like a cozy breakfast that a lot of Thais will have because it's kind of aesthetically pleasing to a certain extent because it's like a one pan wonder, and it's not basic. This is not a basic recipe. We're not gonna be basic on this channel.
Except I'll be making pad Thai for dinner, so don't mind that.
I guess we're a little bit basic. My first time having this, I was actually on a trip on like an outskirt of Thailand. It's closer to Laos or Vietnam, and I highly recommend if you want to make something that's kind of like an American continental style breakfast but also have a Thai twist to it. So let's get started. First off, we got our pans. This is going to be the first pan we're going to be using because we're going to be pre-making all the meats in there, and then we're gonna move on to the pretty pan in the back. We're gonna use olive oil because even though it burns the fastest, it is the healthiest. Then we're gonna go in with some onions. Make sure the heat is low. And you're gonna want to put your minced pork in. Then add in your fish sauce and a little bit of sugar. It should look similar to this. This was super easy, and we're gonna set it aside. I also went ahead and added a little bit of water and the Chinese sausage to cook it a little bit to add that sweetness to our breakfast. Now we're ready to move on to our pretty pan to make our Kai-Krata. Start off by adding a little bit of butter to glaze the pan and wait until it melts. And then add in 2 eggs and the rest of the meats that we prepared initially. How it looks like. We got all our meat, all our eggs. It looks so good. In Thai culture, we add a little bit of ketchup, some pepper, and also some Maggi. Maggi is so loved in Thailand. That's our breakfast, y'all. Bon appetit! Hello? I'm excited to try it. It's just so cozy. Sometimes when you eat eggs alone, there's not that much seasoning because it's just like salt and pepper and all that stuff. But with this, there's the savory flavorfulness from the meat that we made initially, as well as the Chinese sausage that makes it so sweet. And obviously the sausage, who doesn't like sausage? We all like sausage. No pun intended. Chef's kiss. We're back and I'm starving. We're making something that's kind of healthy for the daytime because sometimes I just want something light so that I don't feel too heavy and get hit with food coma and not be productive the whole day. So today we're gonna be making some Thai fresh spring roll using tuna, and I'm so excited because the sauce is everything, you guys.
The sauce is everything. We put it on seafood, we put it with spring rolls, we put it with so many things.
My favorite Thai sauce. I totally forgot I have this on my head, so I will be right back. I'm gonna take it off. Let's make some Thai fresh spring rolls. In Thai, it's called Gui Tiao Lui Suan. Gui Tiao Lui Suan literally means noodles and going into a garden, like adventuring into a garden. So it is definitely very veggie based. It is foolproof. You can just add anything you want and you can get creative with the things that you put in your spring roll. So I highly recommend the spring roll to start with if you want to make something easy from this whole video, but the pad thai later will be the star of the show.
I'm telling you now, the pad thai later will be the star of of the show, so.
Take that as you will. First step to what we're doing is prepping the meat. Why can't I open this? Firstly, you're gonna start with some tuna. If it is in water like this, you want to lubricate it with some oils. And I would recommend draining the water out before you add the oil. Next up, you're gonna add in your olive oil as much as you like. It is just supposed to soak up the tuna so the tuna can stick together nicely when it goes into the spring roll. Moving on to a little more seasoning, we're gonna add sauce หอยนางรมสูตรเข้มข้น. This is basically oyster sauce. If you want to get any sauce to make anything Thai, I feel like this is the sauce to get because it is a staple. Like you can put this in broccoli and it will just elevate the dish.
With a little bit garlic, fresh is so good.
Okay, I'm getting sidetracked. And another seasoning we're gonna add is some soy sauce, just a little bit. Just to give it a little bit more of that very aromatic scent. I'm gonna add some pepper. Give it a little kick. Measurements doesn't matter too much. It's supposed to just be like a recipe that you can just throw together and it will just make sense. Moving on to the greens, the fun part, the colorful greens. Now we are on the part where we are gonna assemble the spring rolls, which is obviously my favorite part because I get to get
Down and dirty.
with my hands and I'm using something that is very easily attainable. It is Vietnamese spring roll paper, Vietnamese rice paper. This one is round and it looks like this. Trick that I learned from a really great Thai YouTuber, Pylin's Kitchen. She makes a lot of Thai food and she says that you want to dip this in super warm water and like just circle it around. It's gonna keep cooking when we put it on here. What I learned is that you just want to put whatever you want to put in, and what's important is putting down a bed of vegetable first. Corn and the mushrooms are a little bit cooked. You want to boil it a bit before you kind of put it on so that it is not too crunchy and it is cooked. And this is Thai basil. It's called holapa, which is not exactly Thai basil. I feel like there's a controversy behind which one is Thai basil, which one is holy Thai basil and all this stuff, but this is holapa and it is definitely different than Thai basil, the one that you cook with pork and all that to have with rice. It smells so good. It's like one of the herbs that smells amazing and it really gives you that Southeast Asian kick to it. We actually grew this upstairs on our rooftop, so it's actually very exciting. You guys, second attempt because that didn't work. I wanted to be aesthetic and do it on the cutting board, but the rice paper was stuck there, so a plate works best or something plastic. I'm gonna go through the steps really quickly. Show you guys the final results. Okay, first one did not fly. We're gonna try it again. It's not bad, guys, it's just deformed. We did it. We made spring rolls. It doesn't have to look uniform because perfection is overrated, so don't worry if it doesn't look the way that you want it to. It's kind of hard to work with rice paper. It took me a while to figure it out initially too. It just gets so sticky. Now we're moving on to the sauce. My favorite part because it is the perfect blend of salty, sweet, sour, and spicy, and that is the epitome of Thai cuisine. When I lived in Maryland, I would love to go and eat lobster. I wouldn't like just having it with butter. I always brought Thai seafood sauce with me for as long as I remember. Since I was like 11 or something, I think this sauce really made me love spicy even more, and I am so excited to show you guys how this is made. I pre-cut all the veggies already. What you're gonna do is get a blender. You're gonna put in lemon juice, 2 cloves of garlic. Add as much as you want. I am adding quite a bit, and you're gonna want to add a lot of cilantro. Gives it that aroma that you're seeking for. Last but not least, your chili of choice. We have 2 chilies here. I think I'm gonna add like 2 chilies, and then I'm gonna add 1 more red chili because red chili is more spicy. To add a little bit of that salty kick, we're gonna add fish sauce. Why do I sound like a chef? Like, why do I sound like a YouTube chef? Hi, I don't know shit about food. We're just struggling to make this together. Some fish sauce. According to Pylan's kitchen, she uses honey because it gives a bit of that sticky consistency. As much as you want. I'm gonna start with this much first. And we're gonna close this up and we're gonna blend it. Doesn't look too appetizing, but it is the bomb. This is our lunch, very light and easy. This is Kway Teow Luy Suan, and I highly recommend it if anybody wants to eat something a little more healthy and on the lighter side with a little bit of that Thai flavor. I'll try this out with you guys right now, actually. I'm so excited to try this. Everyone that's Vietnamese that's watching, sorry if I wrapped it improperly. I am still learning. Bon appetit! The tuna gives it a very like mushy texture, which, okay, mushy is not a word that we want to have in like when we eat. It has a soft texture. It contrasts with the cucumber that's so crunchy. If we were doing an ASMR right now, you guys would hear how crunchy the cucumber is. Welcome back to dinner. As you guys can already tell, I will be making some pad thai Gung, which is shrimp pad thai. Shrimp pad thai is honestly the best way to have pad thai. A disclaimer, there are a few ingredients here that you might think that is hard to find, but you can definitely find on Amazon. But honestly, if you have local Thai markets around you, I highly recommend buying from there instead of Amazon, because it's always nice to support your local businesses that might be having a hard time with COVID right now. So I highly recommend searching up on Yelp or something to find a place that sells this around your area. Firstly, you're gonna want to soak the pad thai noodles in water. Meanwhile, we're letting it soak. We're gonna work on the sauce. Probably the hardest part of this recipe. Now that we have moved to the stove, we're gonna start making the sauce. My camera stopped working when I was adding the first 3 initial ingredients, but I will go through them quickly with you guys. I added crushed dried up chili first. Of course, I used Thai chili for this, and 3 cloves of garlic. And then you're gonna add 3 big spoons of tamarind sauce, palm sugar, and fish sauce. Maybe add a little more palm sugar because pad thai sauce is actually on the sweet side. You're gonna add a small dinner spoon of ketchup and then a little bit of salt. And that is all you need for the pad thai sauce. You just wanna stir it for a good 10 minutes until it is all mixed together and it starts smelling delicious. That is when you know it's ready. As for our ingredients outside the sauce, we have some tofu. We also have shrimp, fresh shrimp as well. This is chai po wan, which is kind of Chinese but also very Thai. A lot of us Thais are mixed with Chinese, so a lot of our cuisine is very Chinese influence. And we have some dried shrimp. These are huge dried shrimps. Excited! If you like bean sprouts, it is also important to put bean sprouts as well, because pad thai is not pad thai without bean sprouts. It's gonna be a fun time making pad thai with my Thai today. You're gonna need eggs as well when you are stir frying it, so we're gonna move everything over to the stove to just bring all the flavors together. Stir fry is always nice. Stir fry is fun.
You just put everything in a pan and it just works.
Start out with cooking the shrimp so they become vibrant and ready to eat. Then just scoop up the shrimps, and then we're gonna add some Thai onions with some tofu as well as chai po wan, which is basically preserved radish. Don't forget to also add in your dried shrimps. And you're just gonna start stir frying it so that it becomes a really nice color. And then of course you're gonna wanna add in the star of the show, the soaked pad thai noodles. The best technique to cook the pad thai noodles is basically cooking it on the side and then adding in the sauce that we made initially and then stirring it all in together. For our next step, get your bean sprouts and your Thai green onions ready because we're going to be putting into the stir fry now. Using the same technique, you're going to add in your 2 eggs and let it cook on the side while also scrambling it a little bit as well. And you're just going to wait a little bit until it's cooked, and then you're going to incorporate it into the noodles. gonna add our shrimp on top, as pretty as we can. Then some peanuts. Peanuts is definitely a pad thai staple. This is roasted peanuts, some green sprouts, and then last but not least, garnish. Our pad thai is ready to be served. It looks so gorgeous, and we cannot forget the size, which is lemon and green onions. Let's try it out right now and have our super Thai authentic dinner. Bon appetit! Round 3. So excited about dinner because it is pad Thai, and who doesn't like pad Thai? My mouth is already salivating. Damn, ooh, that's spicy. I'm gonna go finish my dinner, but thank you for spending time with me today. I'm glad we got to make some Thai food. Some of them I've never made before, and some of them I'm so familiar with. I really wanted to share my take on Thai food and like just Thailand with you guys, because I am pretty westernized, and like I know a lot of you guys are as well. I would like to share a little bit more about my home country with you guys, so I hope that this video was fun for you guys, and I hope you learned a few different tips and tricks on how to make Thai food at home that is quite easy if you have all the ingredients. So find your ingredients and make it, and feel free to tag me on my Instagram, because I definitely want to see when you guys make this, and I'm excited to see how you guys will make it your own. I'm gonna go finish this because my mouth keeps salivating and I cannot speak properly. I will see you guys next week, and don't forget to subscribe and join the family, because we are pretty positive here and we are pretty fun here, and I would love to see your face again. That's all for today. I will see you guys next week. Bye!